married to an intercessor.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm married to an intercessor, and we didn't always understand what it was, the gifting that God had given her to be the kind of intercessor that she is. And it created some problems for me. She has this ability just to bang, go into prayer and last forever, and I'm kind of a short-winded prayer person, okay? So until we got this straight, that it was a gift of God, it was something really wonderful, you know, it created some difficulty for me, at least.
Sure,
sure.
Now, in intercession, did you?
No.
In intercession, there are actually different kinds of intercession. The one that we particularly move in is strategic intercession or strategic prophetic intercession.
I got you.
Now,
You have to explain that.
yes, well, to be an intercessor, all you really need to do is see a need and pray. And usually, it could even be like in some churches, the pastor is the one that prays,
right,
and the other people are there bearing down in prayer, agreeing mostly. Okay, that's intercession. But for prophetic and strategic intercession, you have to be able to hear the voice of the Lord speak in some way. You might hear it through just inferred, knowledge,
sure,
just receiving it. You may actually hear, or many other different ways that the Lord would do, maybe in a vision, maybe in a dream. But you get the will of the Lord in a certain circumstance, and you know where He wants you to go and what He wants you to do, sure, in the prayer. So you follow that as you pray for steps, then you get the strategy to how do I get from here to what I just saw there. There has to be some steps along the way. He reveals as you move forward. He broadens your horizon so you can see further. You're always moving ahead, but you're waiting for the direction of the right timing. Timing is exceedingly important
to intercession.
It is.
I say that strategic intercession is informed, pointed prayer. In other words, you have information, you pray towards a specific end. You don't just pray, Father, heal Joe, but you say, I speak to Joe's hip right now to be restored, that the joints and the tendons will be reconnected, and Joe will be completely healed. Okay, so there's a difference in the two kinds of thing, where one is more general, the other is more specific, because you have the information.
Now, would you say in intercession, prophetic, strategic intercession, that you need to know seasons and cycles?
Oh, that would be very helpful if you knew that. Many don't know it, but those who do know it, this is just great.
Share something about seasons and cycles and how one can get to know.
Okay. Well, we're right now in the month of Tammuz, as we speak. And this is the month in which the spies went out, but the spies saw things, but they didn't have the right perception.
Yes.
And so this is a month where we have to be careful of what we see. It's a good time to go out and look, but we need to be careful that we interpret what we see correctly. Okay, we don't bring back a bad report like the spies did. Okay,
and it's also a month of fear, where people receive fear into themselves, and I think we see that plenty by every day the news bringing more and more ill reports. But I love that song we sing in the church. Who believes the report of the Lord? So whose report will you believe? That's the question.
So those seasons and cycles help to shape strategically your focus as far as intercession is concerned.
Absolutely, they do.
And how has that helped you down through the years as it relates to intercession? How had knowing the seasons and cycles, how did you come into that?
Well, I'll give you a good for instance. August the 6th, which will be during the month of Av. Okay, in the month of Av, of course, the first 15 days are days of destruction. Well, for the next 15 days are days of rejoicing. Well, on August the 6th, we're going to go to St. Clement's Island in St. Mary's County. St. Clement's Island is the place where Lord Baltimore landed with his people. It was the first landing point in Maryland. And it was the place where Maryland was dedicated to the Lord. So we know that this is, while this being a season of potential destruction, we're going to St. Clement's Island and rededicate the whole state back to the Lord again.
Please share with us how your intercession specifically to Baltimore, Maryland came about. Talk to us about Baltimore, Maryland and your work of intercession in Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, it started in 1996. Well, I had always interceded, but towards the city. Actually, I'd have to say it was Angela Kamiakas who was the first one that I ever heard say, you know, get over here quick, we have to pray for the city. I'm thinking, okay, I'm coming. I'm thinking, in 96, no one was talking about praying for cities, you know.
Right.
So how do you pray for the entire city, all those problems, everything, you know. So I'd go over and we would just seek the Lord and pray. And as we would just pray, the Lord would just be doing something inside of us. And that's what actually helped connect us, where we began hearing from the Lord, it's time to come together. That was 1996. So it was really a total work of the Holy Spirit. No man comes to the Father unless the Spirit draws him. He drew us together. And I had been saying up to that point, from like 1972 until 1996, the Lord put it in me about John chapter 17. And I used to always pray for the John 17 church to come forth. I'm still praying for the John 17 church to come forth. That we may be one, but one in Him the way He means one in Him.
Right. Not
just for unity's sake,
right,
but the power being released in the right order through Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So in 1996, we started praying for Baltimore, and the group was led by the Holy Spirit to start praying in a circle, a complete circle around the Beltway, 695, encircling the city with prayer. And here's how we did it. We would take a map out of Baltimore City, put it on the floor, get on our knees and pray and pray and pray and seek the Lord. What church do you want us to go to pray? And we were going to pray all night. So once a month we prayed all night somewhere. We also have a time currently where we're meeting at one church, but many churches are coming together, sending their intercessors, because that's the John 17 church. That's the confluence of the rivers of God out of our innermost being. Rivers are flowing together. It raises the level of revelation so you can see better, see further, get more strategy, and we are listening. We listen to everyone as an input. Very important, because for such a long time, we've had a model going on the church, I don't even say hundreds of years, where the pastor gets up, he speaks, he tells, or the bishop, and everybody listens, and there's never any time where anybody else has an exchange, where you hear what they're saying, and so after a while the people feel like, you know. But now God is releasing His people. There's an end-time harvest out there. It's ripe for the harvest. We must go at a certain time. Harvest can spoil, you know.
That's right.
So it's very important to go out.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Harvest can spoil.
They can. Yeah. And wouldn't that be a shame when the price has been paid, that we would lose the harvest on our watch? Dear God, dear Jesus.
And then you realize we've been doing this for 15 years.